complaint?
Well, we knew that there continue to be problems with legal services. Well, just from consumers bringing complaints to us.
Well, you would know how many complaints then were coming.
We don't have huge numbers of complaints necessarily, so I can't say that. But you can't. Sometimes you cannot prove consumer detriment, but we do know as a general principle that choice and competition opens doors for consumers to receive better services, better quality services, and cheaper services. So as a general principle, I suppose that's the evidence base that we have, as opposed to specific evidence on legal services. That's true.
So there's no facts or figures that you could share with the committee?
Well, no more than there is on the other side to prove that this is what consumers want, you know, the status quo. So I think it's one of these difficult things. We just have to apply consumer principles in general, best we can.
And the point about the profit against...
Competition in general drives down prices for consumers, and it offers a range of different ways of doing things, which throws up benefits for people in general. And that's the thing that we've, over the 50 years of which is history, we've seen time and time again. When people get choice and fair competition is introduced, then the consumer tends to benefit, and that's what we believe will happen with this.
Yes, briefly. I think the number of questions there. Firstly, before the Which Super complaint, the OFT was involved on the research working group party with other members of, I think, Law Society faculty and Consumer Focus Scotland. I think Consumer Focus Scotland actually brought a lot of concerns to the table in 2005, 2006 about consumer issues. Yeah, so it wasn't just the Which, responding to Which that really it was the catalyst. It was the work that had been done before the research working group.
What was it called? The review working group? Is that the group?
Research working
working group.
Not a word that slips off the tongue.
That research working group, as far as I understand, concluded that a couple of minor changes, but there had to be an awful lot more research before changes should come forward to legislation. Can you point us in the direction of where that research has been undertaken?
I think there were a lot of the findings were that OFT and Consumer Focus felt one thing, and the Law Society and the faculty felt something else. As regards to research, I'm afraid I can't quite recall which areas.
From Stuart Maxwell.
I just wanted to pick up one small point, which was when Julia Clarke stated about Which's view on wills. You stated that you were talking about straightforward wills. If I have a will made up by Which Legal Services, using the system that Mr Brown was talking about, I live in Scotland, all my relatives and friends live in Scotland, I own property only in Scotland, do you think it's appropriate that, in Which's view, that that will would be drawn up under English law?
Sorry, I don't have a great deal of information on that, so I'm not going to be very helpful to you, I'm afraid. I can certainly find out and come back to you on that, Mr Maxwell.
It seems
I take your point.
odd
I do
to me.
take your point on
Okay, thanks.
That's a very honest response. I'm grateful for that. Ladies, can I thank you very much indeed for your attendance this morning. The committee will suspend briefly. Table reconvene, and the second panel today consists of, in splendid isolation, Professor